Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Slice of Life with Madhavi featuring Young India. And today's topic is very interesting. Just now we had our Valentine's Day और हमने सोचा क्यों ना हम बात करें masculinity in the movies. So हर मूवी में दिखाते हैं लड़का या लड़की अपने बॉयफ्रेंड होने वाले बॉयफ्रेंड या गर्लफ्रेंड को स्टॉक करता है और फिर बाद में वो उससे पट जाती है. सो वो एक्चुअल लाइफ में ऐसा होता है क्या और एक्चुअल लाइफ में ऐसा होना चाहिए क्या और अगर ऐसा होता है तो वो क्या करना चाहिए हमें ये सब जानते हैं आज. सो मेरे साथ दो अमेजिंग लोग हैं, अर्चित एंड निकिता. सो अर्चित, गो अहेड एंड इंट्रोड्यूस योरसेल्फ.
Right. Hello, everybody. If you have heard the previous podcast, you'd already know who I am, but I'll give a short introduction. So, I'm a class 12. I'm currently studying in class 12, commerce student. So, that's why मैं अभी podcast में हूँ. उतना stress नहीं है अभी. Right now, बहुत interest है football. और अभी English exam का prep कर रहा हूँ. So, yes. अभी ब्रेक चल रहा है.
ऑल द बेस्ट अर्चित. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर कमिंग इन. सो अर्चित को मैंने बोला कि दिस इज अ टॉपिक, कैन यू कम एंड टॉक. अर्चित बोलता है हाँ, एंड आई वाज लाइक तुम तो 12th में हो ना, कैसे आओगे. सो वी विल आल्सो लिसन फ्रॉम हिम कि वो कैसे मैनेज कर रहा है ये सब. Maybe he doesn't have a girlfriend right now, that's why he's able to manage, or a boyfriend, whatever it is. Yeah. So the next guest is one of my dearest friend, and I guess I have met her like a couple of years back, and since then we have spoken about everything under the sky. Okay, she will talk about the topic, so let's hear from her.
Hi Madhavi, hi Archit. I'm really excited to be in this kind of segment, and I think this topic is really interesting to me. But anyway, let me tell you about myself. My name is Nikita. मैं मुंबई से हूँ, but right now I stay in मध्य प्रदेश a lot. इसलिए मेरी हिंदी इन दोनों की हिंदी से शायद थोड़ी ज्यादा अच्छी होगी. And I agree with Archit on the 12th commerce point क्योंकि मैंने arts किया था, so I think I had a lot of fun in my college time, so I kind of get where he's coming from. So, but still, all the best for your exams, Archit.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Nikita, for joining in. So, yeah, about Indian. So, Valentine Day abhi gaya hai. How was yours, guys? So, mine was घर पे बैठ के खाना खाओ एंड सो जाओ एंड काम करो. सो दैट्स इट. आई वुड लाइक टू नो फ्रॉम यू, आप लोगों ने क्या किया? Anyone will do.
I can maybe go first. Very similar to what you said, Madhavi. सुबह मैं उठी, मैंने बहुत सारे Instagram reels देखे. Some about relationships and how good they are. Some about how single people are the best. फिर थोड़ा मन में रोना धोना किया. उसके बाद काम पे गई. But thankfully I had some friends around. Like I live in a really small town, so I was glad to have friends around. So हमने 3 जगह की cold coffee sample करके review किया. So that was our work on Valentine's Day.
Amazing, amazing. I guess उस दिन मैंने किसी को पिच किया होगा और उसने मुझे हाँ बोल दिया कि हम तुम्हें पैसे देंगे. That would have been the best Valentine for me.
So आज मैं क्या किया? उठा, स्कूल गया. स्कूल में अकाउंटेंसी का मॉक नहीं था, बट क्वेश्चंस के टेस्ट थे. लिखकर थोड़े दोस्तों के साथ बात करके फिर घर वापस आया, खाना खाया, सोया 2 घंटा, उठा और उठकर क्या किया? हाँ, फिर से दोस्तों के साथ थोड़ा आधा घंटा बात करके then I moved on to studying for the board exams. इंग्लिश थोड़ा पढ़ा और अकाउंटेंसी किया.
Very interesting way to celebrate your Valentine's Day, Archit. I'm glad. Okay, so about movies, what do you guys think? So I was recently asked to come on a radio show which is very famous in Pune, and he was asking me similar questions like कि what do you think about stalking, what do you think about the relationship these days. So thanks to the podcast मेरे पास बहुत कुछ insights थे, so I could share that with him. But I would like to know from you guys, what do you think about the stalking culture? What do you think about Indian movies that show relationships? So to start off with, okay, मैंने ना हम तो मूवी देखी थी when I was in engineering or I don't know when I was very young. तो मुझे लगता था कि फ्लाइट के बाजू की सीट में जो बैठता है ना, that is the one, that person is the one. और वहां से जो मतलब after my college, whenever I used to fly, after watching that movie, whenever I used to fly, I was like, is he the one? Is he the one? पर कभी भी मेरे बाजू वाली सीट में कोई भी यंग लड़का बैठा नहीं. So I never was lucky enough to get my partner on a plane. So yeah, so Bollywood movies are like that. What are your experiences, or the Shah Rukh Khan in your life? I guess there is a book also on this.
I'm not sure about कौन सा book वो है, but there's definitely the whole stalking culture still Bollywood में बहुत है, but I would say comparatively from the 90s and early 2000s बहुत कम हो गया है, because a lot of people realize that this is weird and this is not how normal relationships work. But अभी भी the whole toxic masculinity and ऐसे like लड़का अगर ऐसा करेगा तो ऐसा ही करेगा, something like that, it's still very prevalent. Advertisements में भी बहुत है, especially like I forgot the company's name, but the tagline is basically men will be men, which is both hilarious but extremely sexist side by side. So that's still prevalent till today.
But now there are new ways of stalking, right? I mean, पहले उसके पीछे पीछे जाते थे, अब उसके Instagram ये वो. What do you think, Nikita?
Look, I grew up in the 90s and the 2000s, right? So honestly, I thought that was what love was. मतलब जब तक वो आपकी खिड़की के नीचे खड़े रह के दूरबीन से आपके कमरे में नहीं देख रहा है या आपके पीछे ट्रेन में नहीं चढ़ रहा है और आपका शेड्यूल मैप नहीं कर रहा है, I mean, उस प्यार का क्या फायदा, right? But I'm really glad that as I grew up, Bollywood has also grown up, like Archit said, and it is now shown for the fact that it's also a creepy thing to do. But of course, Instagram, I'm assuming Instagram say to, I think it's called research, right? Not stalking when you're doing it on Instagram and Facebook. I have had these experiences, and I don't know if I would consider them toxic per se, but really weird when I have an open profile. So sometimes people just come in and you see like these 50 likes on your profile, and I'm like, I don't know you. Who are you? Can you say hello and introduce yourself before you decide to like all my photos? But yeah, so I think that culture is still there, where you can just go into somebody's space and just like everything without knowing them.
So there is a new type of stalking. I met someone on a dating app. Not met, like I might have that person might have swiped me right, and I did not swipe him back. Then that person actually came to my LinkedIn, and he was like, your LinkedIn profile is much more interesting than your Bumble profile. Can you imagine like this happening to me? And I was so shocked. And then he was begging to have a coffee with me, and I was like, should I go or should I not? I mean, this is like borderline creepiness, I thought. And then yeah, eventually he is, I don't know where he is. And I also know one of my friend, like guy friends, so this is not only men do it, okay, there are girls also who do it. One of my friend actually, he got a message on LinkedIn saying, I really like your profile, are you getting married or something, because I saw you on shadi.com or some stuff like that. So this happens to everyone, I think, and the creepiness level is different now. So when I saw that movie, Toilet Ek Prem Katha, where this guy Akshay Kumar is like taking her photos everywhere, and then without asking, and she is also taking his photos without asking. So this is, I guess, new type of creepiness. So Archit, have you done something like this, or have you seen something like this?
I have definitely not done anything like this, but मैंने कभी ऐसे देखा नहीं है. Though like amongst friends, ऐसे random ऐसे Snapchat, when Snapchat was big, I don't use Snapchat anymore, but I would say 2-3 साल पहले we used to randomly take close-ups of people and then send it amongst our friend circle, obviously. But then we realize that that is also somehow an invasion to privacy, especially if these are like they're pretty insecure about themselves and don't want you to do that. But since hum bahut close the, it was like okay. But doing that to someone you don't know or kabhi nahi dekhe ho, or you randomly like, okay, that person looks good, let me take a picture. Why are you good? What are you going to do with that picture? That is very very creepy. But yeah, मैंने तो कभी नहीं किया है, but देखा हुआ है.
What about you, Nikita? Have you stalked anyone ever?
Um, so I'll be honest, if I meet someone on a dating app, I do check in on their social media profile, but I think it comes from, I mean, you guys can correct me, but I think it comes from a place of personal safety. Like, I just need to know if their credentials match. And I usually do it on LinkedIn. So, Madhvi ka, it kind of ties in because I feel LinkedIn is a little more authentic than Facebook and Instagram. So, pretty purane zamane ki. So I've done it, and only then I go on a date. So anyone who's going on a date with me needs to know this, that I would have probably checked in on their social media profile. But I don't know if that's good or bad. But आजकल एक series बहुत famous हो रही है. I just finished watching it called You. Right, it's on Netflix, and it essentially talks about this, that the man is so much more like you know. Like उसका बढ़ गया है somehow social capital or romantic capital because he's constantly following the leads in these series, and it's somehow really it's very popular. Like people want to be stalked according to like the kind of rage it has, positive rage it has created. So I mean, just putting that in.
Yeah, so I also do that. So if I have swiped right to some like for someone, I actually go and look into his LinkedIn profile, or may not be Instagram because Instagram is anyway. But I definitely go and look into LinkedIn profile. But I don't go and ask and tell ki your Bumble profile is better or your LinkedIn profile is better than your Bumble profile. Sorry, whoever he was, I just forgot his name. But yeah, it was kind of different experience for me. Any different experience like this have you had, Archit? Your friends
Honestly,
have
what
had.
yes, as Nikita said, the background check definitely happens. I don't think, especially अगर किसी से social media के through कभी बात हुआ है, there's definitely a background check or a reference check कि ये बंदा actual है कि नहीं, or is it like a fake profile. तो मेरे दो दोस्त हैं, like we have a group amongst ourselves, three of us. So they're two girls and then I'm the only guy there. And they get a lot of creepy text. They have private profiles, so some lot of weird guys go and text and say that I knew you from when you were I was your neighbor when you were 4 years old, and very creepy, shady sort of stuff. And we get the screenshots of that, and it's extremely hilarious to see how fake it is, but the person jo bhej rahe think it's actually legit. And not only that, as you said, the whole Tinder thing, I don't think we use Tinder because obviously we're not of legal age to use that. So हमारा main thing है socializing IRL to like actual events में, अगर cultural events हो, so that's when at least I meet a lot of people. And उधर से थोड़ा connections, acquaintance होकर we send profiles में request like Instagram or LinkedIn अभी किया है because अभी use होगा. So that's that. And there's definitely the whole reference and background check that goes ahead. Because lots of people just write their school name and their year of finishing or when they'll finish school. But sometimes ऐसे ही fake profile करके someone can do that. So what we do is like अगर we know someone from that school, we go ahead and ask them that okay, ऐसा कोई लड़का या लड़की है कि नहीं, and is this their profile, and they do a check and see whether that's legit or not, and then they tell us that that's actually the person. So that definitely happens, but on a different scale, I would say.
Yeah, so there are definitely background checks that happens, and it is important to do that before you are going for a date or even chatting with that person, because you never know what kind of secrets you talk, and sometimes you just reveal things, and you don't know the person is capable enough or even listening to what you are trying to tell him or her. Yeah, so that's very important. So I know, like, dating has changed a lot these days, of course, from meeting, like talking to your friends in college, to now talking to anyone in India or world through the apps. But how it is in, like, how it is with you guys who are like 18, 19? So you told that we meet at a function, and then is it like dating through Insta or dating through Snapchat is more often? How it is?
Right. At least मेरे जो friend circle है, most of them, those who are dating or used to date, they knew each other. Either they were in the same school और एक ही apartment में थे, या फिर मिले थे कहाँ, मतलब कोई event में. Though most of अभी तो there's like, I wouldn't say long distance, but since मैं अभी चेन्नई में रहता हूँ, so if someone lives inside the city versus someone, अगर if I meet someone in a cultural festival and they live in the outskirts of the city, तो obviously उनके घर पे जाकर उनके साथ बात करके time spend करना is obviously not plausible, especially कि हमारे like we don't own a car nor a bike, and we ऐसे घर से बाहर नहीं जा सकते. So what we do is there's Gmeet, which is widely used because 40 minutes का restriction नहीं होता है. So a lot of us just spend time on Gmeet like 6 बजे से रात 10 बजे तक. They'll do their work, I'll do my work side by side. And ऐसे ही अगर break में, अगर both of us have a break, coincidentally we speak for some time, and then we go about doing our daily work. And that's pretty much that. I know a couple of people who date online, but I find that extremely not safe. मुझे personally अच्छा नहीं लगता because I don't know that person. I may know him or her or them from whatever they say they are, right? But I don't know to some कि कितना extent तक वो actually सच बोल रहे हैं, नहीं तो they are making up stuff. So that's at least how I know it works here.
Got it. So Nikita, how your experience have been like? Have you dated people online? Well, most of the answers I know, but still I would like to know. I would want you to tell others how your online experience has been, or have you ever dated online, and how it has, been for you through till now.
I've had many years of dating, guys. As in, बचपन से डेट कर रही हूँ, so it's been a few years now.
Friends are so cool.
So it was easier. I don't think I ever dated somebody when I was in school, college. It was usually people in and around either the neighborhood or the school or the college. So it was not very hard to meet. It was hard, but मिल लेते थे, and we really didn't have anything online related. At least, there might be people who've done that, but I've never done the online thing when I was in school and college and stuff.
For people,
thankfully, I found people.
For people who don't know, Nikita is from Mumbai, so that's why she is telling like she has been dating from the college days.
Yes, so like 16, 17, yeah. School and college, and we also, I think Mumbai also has a system where 10th ke baad you're in college directly, right? So the 11th and 12th is also college, so you actually do go to and meet different people in that time. So I have dated someone in college and stuff. Then now I think in the age of so many dating apps, I think in one way it's easy, and in one way it's also becomes really hard to actually connect with someone because there's so many. एक तो इतने सारे apps हैं, ठीक है, there's so much information you're giving and talking to new people, and मेरा favorite color yellow है or whatever, and है ना, and it's too much information after a point. So mostly people who date, like, I mean, I think I definitely have been on most 3-4 apps over the last few years. You go on these apps for a while, then you just get overwhelmed, and it's completely an overload of information and emotions, and you just stop everything. And then you work for some months, and then again you're like, maybe I should go on an app again. And then it goes again. So it has been very sprinkled, but toxicity comes in all flavors. चाहे आप कॉलेज में हो, चाहे आप ऑनलाइन हो, I would say 50% of the people I've met on a dating platform have been either like stocky or slightly toxic. And I think the good thing is that you're able to kind of not date those people and actually date like nicer people. So, yeah.
Oh, well, I actually have a question. Since both of you have been using dating apps for quite some time, I feel dating apps are like जब अगर Ola या Uber में से you choose like an auto or something वैसा लगता है, and I'm just like so averse to that. Like every single time अगर किसी को okay you're interested in someone, you go to their profile or right swipe left swipe करते हो, like you're checking the prices of different apps, and it's just a weird मतलब the concept is weird. At least I feel that there has to be some sort of connection rather than building a connection from nowhere. So what are your opinions on that?
So I tell you, so I never dated like how she said. No, I like dated in college, and I never dated anyone like that. I actually started dating when these apps came. Can you imagine? Such a late bloomer I was. So for me, dating has been always like meeting someone online, going chatting, seeing how it goes. Even my co-founder is someone whom I met through a friend whom I met on a dating app, and my friends still are so like make a fuss out of it that this is why I use a dating app. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, I started dating almost like I must have dated one or two person ऐसे ही, but most of the people जिनको मैंने date किया है have dated through that app, and somewhere good, somewhere creepy, somewhere judgy, somewhere but I have a lot of stories to tell, I would say now, क्योंकि बहुत सारे लोगों को मिलते हो आप, उनके बारे में पता चलता है कोई कहाँ से होता है. So like if I'm from Maharashtra, when I was in Bangalore, I used to meet people from all over India, and it was a very different experience to know their stories. Of course there were some creepy stories also, somewhere like बाप रे, मतलब मैं कहाँ फंस गई, मतलब एक दो बार तो I used to cry also कि ऐसे भी दुनिया में लोग होते हैं टाइप. So ऐसे बहुत सारी stories मिलती हैं, but I think more than anything I learned a lot about people, how they are, what are their stories, how they were brought up. So that was a very, for me, because I'm a very optimistic person, and I take positive things out of all the experiences I have had. I learned a lot, I would say. So yeah, so that of course again कि पूरा scratch से बात करो, and I also have done similar things like similar things like Nikita, where बात करो and then get bored of it, फिर अपना काम करने लगो और फिर delete the app, then again थोड़ा बोर हो जाओगे तो फिर again install the app and meet someone. So ऐसे बहुत बार हुआ है, और बहुत बार तो ऐसा अजीब कोई हमें मुझे ब्लॉक भी कर दिया, I don't know, and I don't even know the reason, and people ghost you also. So this is very common. Okay, I mean ये तो मेरे साथ बहुत ज्यादा हुआ है कि people ghost you, people block you. I think I may have also blocked one or two people. Yeah, because if they were nasty or creepy, I have done those things to them. Yeah. So yeah, Nikita, same question to you.
I think so. I can speak for Madhavi and me. We're both in our 30s, right? Dating is, I don't think I would call it Uber online dating. I think it's more like Netflix. Like it's convenient. You just start it and you choose what genre you want to pick, and then you spend some time. So I tried Tinder, right? Tinder is more like, it's not really, it's just one episode or two episodes and then it's done, right? And then there is Bumble, which is a little more like there's a progress. I think now apps are also being reinvented. Like I was on Hinge recently. A lot more like data. There's a lot more you get to know about someone. And I think it's also because we travel, like I travel a lot, right? So it's hard for me to go to a social event in a city. It's much harder for me than finding somebody on an app and actually being able to have a conversation while I'm wherever I am traveling. So I think that is what is interesting about these apps, that you don't have to go back to a Mumbai or a Delhi and then find a social event and then attend that event and then kind of meet someone. So you're able to kind of do that in any part of the country. And I think that's the convenience that we're going for. And of course, the negative side is that it's overwhelming. And sometimes I just feel like सही में मैं भाजी खरीदे सब्जी खरीदे हूँ market. But yeah, and then you shut it down when it's too much, I think. And then yeah, I guess that's how I feel about it.
So also about Nikita, so she stays in Panna, which is very near to Khajuraho. So she gets to pick from, international and national content.
Yes, that is very true. Before the lockdown, Netflix was much dating. Netflix was much more interesting, but post lockdown, I don't see a lot of international content in Khajuraho, unfortunately. So that's kind of sad.
I have definitely right now realized, I mean, now I'm going to look at dating apps like Netflix, and this is just going to be a very different experience from now.
Just don't tell your mom, okay? Otherwise, she will
Definitely,
ban
yeah.
our podcast. No, go ahead.
No, so I wanted to ask, were there any movies that you have seen recently, or maybe the first recollection of that revolutionized how you would think? I wouldn't say dating, but how, the whole toxic masculinity and femininity goes about. Like something that broke that perception that you had that aise hi hona.
So something that was right, you mean?
Yeah, something that was right, yeah. Because until then, though, it was like ladka ladki ke piche jaakar, like almost coerce her into dating him. So
I really like
वैसा
Queen. Queen was a very it was a very good, amazing movie. It was quite revolutionary at that time. I guess after that, I also went on a solo trip that inspired me to travel Europe all alone. So जिसमें मैंने बहुत पैसे भी उड़ा दिए. But yeah, I think it was really good movie where though she is very sad that this guy has left me and all, but she comes off as a very strong woman and who is now able to take care of herself and amazing. And even Piku, I think I'm an only daughter for my parents and for my only parents. So they I could relate with that movie where she stands for her parents and she's not someone who is driven by, oh, I need someone in my life partner. So the way Amitabh Bachchan also has narrated, do you think she's nice? She is financially independent, she's sexually independent, she's this and that. Do you think she's nice? So he comes off as a very progressive father that way. And I could totally relate with that movie because my father has been like that in many ways, and even my mother. So yeah, so those two movies really stand out for me. In Hollywood, I don't know. I just can't recollect right now, but because Bollywood have been showing such toxicity so for forever, so watching these movies were very like बहुत अलग सा कुछ देखा ऐसा लगा था. और there was this movie I watched recently, Guru Dutt's movie. Okay, it was called Sahib Biwi और गुलाम, and that made me realize बाप रे पहले के लोग कैसे like the woman's life was so much dependent and she wanted her husband's attention, and for that she was ready to do anything. So ये सब क्योंकि because some movies basically represent the culture that we have, right? So वो देख के मुझे थोड़ा शॉक लगा कि इस टाइप के कल्चर में we were living before. So yeah, very different from what the movies are today. Nikita, any amazing
So I remember very clearly. Yes, I have some ideas. So I think so. This was around the time Kabir Singh was being showcased around the world, and some people were like, and I live in a small town. Okay, it was a big outrage. Like every teenager living in the locality was like a big fan of Kabir Singh. It was showcasing everywhere, and that really scared me. So that was the time when I actually started thinking about what are the movies I'd like to watch and is there any option. And a friend of mine suggested Kumbalangi Nights. So it's a Malayalam movie. So but it's beautiful. I've seen it every time I need like a dose of non-toxicity. I think I watch it because it is the story of four brothers and like where that goes, and they've actually reversed a lot of the male characters, uh, and there's also a toxic figure in the movie, and then the contrast is these four brothers, and each of them are trying to tell a story which is not toxic. And I think it was beautiful. It was so nuanced, and I was like, Bollywood ye kab banane wala hai? Like, come on. I'm sure they'll add some toxicity to it if they make it in Bollywood. But I think everyone should watch it. It's very slow and it's very beautiful because it's the backwaters and stuff. उसके अलावा I think over the last few years, any Ayushmann Khurrana movie has some of it has really made me feel a little better about like watching a movie. I'm like, ठीक है, it's not like I can actually go through this experience and not come out of it like traumatized. I mean, I saw Pathan recently. I was so confused as to, like, on one hand, they're showing some kind of strong female character, but they're still, I think we're not able to get rid of that. The man is supposed to protect her, or like some of these things just linger in our movies, and I don't know why. And of course, I'm a big Shah Rukh fan, so I went just to पैसे पैसे बनवाने के लिए शाहरुख जी के लिए, but I came back with a lot of questions. Like they were trying to make a strong female character, but it felt like they had lost that battle in the middle or in the end.
Right, I think that had a lot of. If you don't mind, I may extend my speaking time a little bit because as Nikita said quite a lot of stuff that I actually want to touch upon. So especially Ayushmann Khurrana's films, definitely I would say from the new generation of actors, definitely has the most progressive filmography. I think the first movie that I watched of his was Dam Laga Ke Haisha. I think that was his. And that was like, when I watched it, that was like a breath of fresh air. I was so used to like, the Happy New Year kind of movies, the typical hero, heroine, and I was just tired of that. And then I watched that specific movie, and that totally changed the way that I thought, Bollywood's finally moving in a good direction. I think in that same year, I was in ninth grade. I saw Gangs of Wasseypur, and I felt that was again a very, very a movie that was ahead of its age because it systematically showed how the the man of the house, or so we say, is the dominant figure in the household. Like you have Sardar Khan, then you have Faisal Khan, and then you have, I think, Definite and other stuff. And you see Sardar Khan as your typical, toxic male in the family, has his ways around everything, does not, listen to his wife and stuff. And then you have Faisal Khan, which I would say is your new generation, or like your more progressive kind of person, who actually listens to his I think Uma Qureshi, right? I forgot her name. So, and she tells him that this is wrong. You're not supposed to do this. And he tells that मैं तो ये film से ही सीखा है. Film देखकर ही सीखा. And then she's like, this is not how it works IRL. And that was a very, very nice touch, apart from the, extreme gore of Anurag Kashyap, which I personally loved. But it was I would say, a beautiful dark comedy more than an action thriller. And Faisal Khan's character really, really changed the way that I expected the storyline would go. And that is, his particular character was totally something that I didn't expect would, fit in the storyline. And of course, I would say that there are definitely very strong female characters in the movie. Aside from the male-dominated cast, you had Richa Chadda, who did an amazing job in the movie, Uma Qureshi, obviously, and that Bengali actress whose name I've completely forgotten, who, was like, if you, spoiler alert, the last scene, climax mein jo hota hai, you'll understand what I'm speaking once you finish the movie. But yeah, that's about it.
So I just watched Gangs of Wasseypur after so many years. Can you imagine? Like I watched it on 31st of December 2022. But I was like blown. Wow, like yeah, exactly, Nikita. Yes. But what a movie, what a direction. I mean, everything was so in place. So one movie that I think has was definitely had strong female characters and everything is the movie Pink. But I found that, again unko bachane ke liye there is an Amitabh Bachchan. So why there is an Amitabh Bachchan who comes? Maybe there must be a different thought process ki, there are men like him also who are pro women or support women. And I don't know, like, what do you think about this? I would like to know from you guys. And even the movie Thappad, that was just that also had Tapsi Pannu in it, and I could actually could totally get वो क्या बोल रही थी कि एक थप्पड़ से भी बहुत फर्क पड़ता, because I have seen women जिनको मतलब हर रोज मार खा के भी they will show कि हाँ भाई हमारा पति परमेश्वर है and all. I mean, Nikita may have more stories like these because she works with an NGO that works with women who are in the rural India, and she might have more insights on this. So yeah.
Normalized, and I don't think it's rural areas. It's everywhere. I mean, I think I know, and that's the depressing part, right? I mean, I know my own friends, people my age, who like they've seen violence in their own houses. Of course, maybe some communities that I've seen, there might be more violence, or it may be more regular. But violence, toxicity, a particular kind of stereotype that men are supposed to behave in a certain way. I think a lot of that is just ingrained in society, and I think a lot of it comes from what we see, what we hear also. And I'm glad that Bollywood is, for every like bad toxic movie, you have maybe Ayushmann Khurrana or some other actor trying to make a movie where that stereotype is breaking. And I think that's really important, because so much influence comes from these places that we absolutely don't know about. Like we don't realize that it's kind of, I mean, they say movies influence, sorry, our lives are also like showcased in movies, but I also feel it's the other way around. So there's a lot of synergy between what the world that we see and like the movies that we watch. And I think it's good that that thing is changing.
Yeah, so I think this thing, the masculinity, or ki a man should not cry, and I've seen my father cry every time. The first time I boarded an international flight, he was crying. The first time I got this job, I got through a job interview, he was crying. So I have never seen my mom crying as such. She is like a very strong woman, but my father has been very emotional, empathetic. I'll tell you, even my co-founder, he's more empathetic than me. So एक college, so there is this college kid, our intern, and I was like, मैं उसको धमकी देती हूँ, he's not performing well. He said, no, don't worry, he's just an intern, understand where he's coming from. He might have 100 things in his hand, so why are you like bullying him? So I said, yeah, okay, I'm not bullying him, I just don't want to waste the team members' time. So I see that many Indian men, not many, or you can say a few Indian men, I don't want to generalize this, lack EQ, or I haven't seen them, getting emotional, or being empathetic, or crying a lot of times. Uh, and mard ko dard nahi hota. So all these things that come from, Bollywood, that trickles down to the family, to our houses as well. So what do you think about this, especially your generation, Archit? So how do you take it? Like, how is EQ working in your houses?
Right. So I would definitely say the EQ quotient compared to when we were in our, let's say, early teens has like exponentially been brought under the limelight. They've been like, okay, EQ is very important, and though both my parents work, and they're like senior members in their respective organizations, and they've said that before, like when I would say in the early 2000s, that when they were looking for new employees for their organization. They were looking for IQ and their intelligence test based on their academics. But now it's going more towards their emotional quotient to cope with certain adversities that may not be there prior to you working there. And then how do you gel with other people, your relations with superiors and subordinates, how is that going to affect you, and will you be the right fit to the organization? Similarly, I would definitely say, um, when I was in middle school, the whole talking about your feelings was definitely, I wouldn't say taboo, but it was more like हमारा feelings है, हम sort out करेंगे kind of thing. And I would still say that it's still prevalent. I would say that if I have 10 problems, at least 8 or 7 of them, I feel that, okay, मैं ये कर सकता हूँ and I can deal with it myself. And I think I can speak on behalf of a lot of my friends. They feel the same way. But personally, मैं experience किया हूँ, it's much better if you talk it out with a person. And a lot of people don't talk with someone or don't voice their problems out because they're looking for a solution. I personally feel that regardless of what another person tells you, the solution has to be self-driven. Jitne bhi, no matter if a therapist gives you a certain solution, it may or may not work for you. You have to, on a trial and error basis karke, you have to find out your perfect solution. So the talking out and voicing out your problems is going to take something that you have suppressed in you for so long. It's a mere act of releasing something that has been pressurized and bottled down, rather than a solution-based conversation. And a lot of my friends, I try to help as much as I can. I'm not a qualified psychologist, and I wouldn't say that my solutions are always the best or may work for someone. But I keep telling them that देखो, ये मेरे लिए काम किया है. I can suggest it. हो सकता है कि like use हो पाएगा. It may work for you or it may not work for you. But you have to take the decision and put in the effort and see whether हो रहा है कि नहीं. Because you know you more than anyone else. Regardless of अगर मम्मी पापा को, mama papa knows, your mom and dad knows a certain part of you. Your friends know a certain part of you, and there's at least, I would say, one person that would know 80 to 90% of you, but you know you the most. So you have to find a way and a solution or a coping mechanism to help you out. So that's what I would say.
And if that's not there, then download ThatMate.
Definitely. ThatMate, please download on Play Store.
Yeah, on from the Play Store. Yes. Yeah. So I guess even men, they'll go through a lot of trouble in family. They have to be the अर्नर, मतलब तुम्हें ही पैसा कमाना है, तुम्हें ही घर चलाना है. आई डोंट नो ये लड़कियां क्यों नहीं कर सकती. और फिर लड़कियां, गर्ल्स आल्सो थिंक कि we also need a husband, or once we have that, we will be in a safer place. Why don't you have a good career and take care of a man for a change? Why not you also do it? So what do you think, Nikita, about this? Why is this so much ingrained in our society, and what can be done for that?
I don't know why it's ingrained. Okay, I mean, I don't know if I have the answer to that, but I do feel like when it comes to gender, for a long time there was a lot of pressure on all genders to function in a particular way, especially when you look at the cishet man, cishet female, right? So very, very specific roles. And I think, and I also want to say that I don't think toxicity is only coming from the male, like the cishet male. I think it's also women putting women down, women expecting men to kind of play a certain kind of role, and I think that is also really problematic. I don't know if I really like what Archit said, and I honestly believe the Gen Z this generation does a lot better with communication than millennials. Okay, and I'm really glad that there's a lot more Gen Z entering the workforce at least the next 10 years, because it means that you will talk it out. Hopefully, at different points, there will be spaces to hold communication while they are in relationships or it's at the workplace. I have had to unlearn a lot of things along the way. And that is, I think, a lot of gratitude goes to friends who were persistent कि नहीं बात करो, ये सब मत करो. Yeah. And so I live with younger people, right? I have Gen Z roommates, and I think every time I get stuck somewhere, they're the ones giving all these communication solutions. Like, did you have this conversation? And did you label it, or did you do this? And I'm like, oh my god, this is so beautiful. I don't know how to do it, but I'm going to learn how to do it. So I think movies भी hopefully ये reflect करने लगेंगी soon enough.
Yeah, I guess labeling and all ये बहुत सारे series I just can't recollect the name, लेकिन Netflix पे या Prime पे you will see a lot of good episodes or good series which have this thing where they talk about, they communicate, they label, they talk about boundaries. I guess Modern Family talked about boundaries a lot. It is one of an amazing series to watch out for, and plus the chemistry between Cam and Michelle was so amazing, and the way he was like whole you know so much drama in the life. I can so much correlate to him because I'm myself a drama at times. So yeah, and Nikita knows that well, I guess. So so ये सब change जब आएगा तो I guess it has to be from both the sides. Even movies have to show that, and even men have to be even we have to be receptive of that. Like as you said, Kabir Singh was so much respected and it won so many awards, and when it showed, it was like total toxicity. वो मार रहा है और and she is happy and everything is happy. कैसे हो सकता है? Like wow. This is like another angle. And where, so if we start showing, like as you said, that for one Kabir Singh there is Ayushmann Khurrana who does movies which are like very progressive and talk about the issues that haven't been addressed so far. So like before we close this discussion, I would like to know like one thing that, or one movie that has stayed with you, and it could be like any general movie, not which talks about only gender equality or non-toxic behavior, but one movie that has always stayed with you and inspires you a lot all the time.
I need some time to think.
Okay, that we can do at the end. Till then, we can do our my favorite section, that is rapid fire. I many a times think कोई मुझसे भी वो सवाल पूछे, because I have like taken a lot of efforts और मैंने अभी तक उसके answers नहीं सोचे. But yeah, we will go with Nikita first because she is first time doing this with us. So Nikita, I have a list of rapid fire questions. I call it,
Oh my god,
copied from Coffee with Karan section, but yeah.
oh my god.
But here
Okay.
there is no controversy. So anyway, yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited you are about your life?
8.
8. How do you find? How do you define beauty?
Wow, it's a hard question. How is it a rapid fire question? I think I define beauty as the ability to be compassionate for as much I think the longer you live on the earth, you lose the ability to be compassionate. And I think when I see people who are still compassionate about the world, about their work, about each other, I think it really makes me very excited, and I feel like those people are really beautiful.
Oh wow, so beautiful. ये अपने hinge prompt में लिखना, ठीक है? Okay. So, how many snoozes do you have in your alarm?
How many snoozes?
Yeah.
4. 4 to 5.
4 to 5. That's nice. Whom did you stalk just before this session on Instagram?
Just before this session, I met someone on Hinge recently, so I stalked them on LinkedIn, not on Instagram.
Okay. Describe yourself in a hashtag.
Hashtag. I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that. सोचना पड़ेगा. Can we come back to it later?
Sure. What is the one thing that you like about ThatMate app?
I really thought the feeling section was beautiful. Like I went through it, and I think I really wish I had an app like that when I was growing up. I've done all the growing up. Now it feels like, gosh, ऐसा कुछ हमारे पास भी होता है interpersonal, how to feel your interpersonal feelings, those kind. I think it was really well.
Wow, thank you, Nikita. I love you for that. Anyway, I love you, but yeah, I love you that for more.
I love you more. Thanks. Gift hampers are accepted. I will send you my address, man.
I will send ThatMate ka comic books to each one of you.
अरे चलेगा. I love it. भेजो.
Yeah, I can actually do that. I have a lot of them. Cool. So
I'm sending my address.
Yeah, ठीक है. Here you go, Archit.
Right. Yes.
Dream country you want to visit?
Turkey.
Okay, nice. Because I know Archit now. Cricket or football, Archit?
Football, obviously.
A book you love?
Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka.
Nice. Best way to chill?
Lie down and sleep. Definitely.
Okay. If you had to choose one of these things, what would you do? Scrolling on Instagram or binge watching on OTT?
I would say binge watch OTT.
Oh.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so you like to text or call?
Both. It depends on whether मेरा social battery full है या खत्म होने वाला है.
Oh, that's nice. Social battery, this is new word, isn't it, Nikita? What do you do when you are stressed?
I listen to Ritviz. I like his music.
So yeah, that's it, guys. That was your rapid fire. If you have any questions for me, you can ask me. I will answer them rapidly. I will try. But yeah, if you don't have any prepared questions, that's fine. Archit, the next podcast you are in, prepare it and come. Okay.
Definitely.
I would like to give a rapid fire. I'd like to give rapid fire answers. But so it was really amazing to meet you all and talk about this. I mean, I had fun. I had really fun today. And I was otherwise having a very boring day. So Friday night, I'm in Satara, my hometown, so nowhere to go. So yeah, this was fun. And Archit, all the best for your exams. We have other podcasts to catch up where we'll be talking about a lot of other things. So waiting for your exams to finish. And yeah, Nikita, अब next कब आ रही हो कौन से topic पे? I'll anyway keep you posted कि हम लोग
सब में आऊंगी. I'll come for the rapid fire section. I'll prepare some questions and kind of enter it and then exit it like a guest speaker.
Yes, I will have some relevant topic for you also where I will definitely invite you because it is fun to have you all. Like the most, so I and Nikita most of the times have conversations about dating. So I thought in this, like for this topic also, I should invite you the next time. So yeah, online dating.
Yes, we should, and we should meet soon so we can also talk about it offline.
बहुत दिन हो गए. Thank you very much, guys. Listen to us on Spotify and we are also on YouTube. And if you have any topic suggestions, please let us know. We'll invite our guest and talk about it. So yeah, thank you.